Okay guys, today I am here with John and he's giving us his deck profile of his Evilswarm deck, which he took to the Des Moines Regional.
Alright, so let's get started. I went to the Des Moines Regional today. I took 34th, which was 2 away from getting an invite, and I went 5-3. At one point I was 5-1, and I have to admit that I lost to myself more than I actually lost to the opposing player, because I'm bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, Rabbit, obviously. Rabbit, Banish, get 2 Heliotropes, it's a free Ophion. Free rank 4. Ryo, everything in this format is a floater and it adds to hand, so Ryo can just win you games all by himself. He was probably man of the match today. For Evilswarms, I played 2 Mandragora. He jumps to the board if you have less monsters than your opponent. I don't think I used his special summon effect once all day.
Oh, by the way, we do have trades.
He was just essentially caster fodder. I would just summon Caster and get the second summon with Mandragora. I never actually special summoned Mandragora. Thunderbird, I played 2. I see a lot of builds with 3, but I play 2 just to keep the monster count low so the hands don't get cloggy. He's really good. You can bait out battle traps and things like that, and summon traps with him and then chain, and then get him back next turn. He's a really good card for dodging some just dangerous back row. 3 Heliotrope. Obviously, he's a beat stick, but he's also your rabbit targets. Gives you free rank 4s and free Ophions. Caster, if you're familiar with Constellar, the Constellar, that's a warrior. Same thing, summon, and then as long as the summon is successful during that turn, you get another normal summon as long as it's an Evilswarm. This is a great card. Can't be Veilered, can't be Breakthroughed. Essentially, if the summon survives, then you get your extra normal summon for a rank 4. And of course, main man of the deck, triple Kirkion. If Kirkion's effect goes off, it's a +1, if not more, by itself. So Kirkion says he has a beginning effect with regard to tribute summoning, but nobody uses that. His other effect is you target an Evilswarm monster in your grave, banish it, add another Evilswarm monster from your grave to your hand, and then the turn that effect has successfully resolved, you get another normal summon as long as it's an Evilswarm monster. Alright, well that's it for the monsters. Spells where I feel a little bit disappointed today, and where I think I threw a lot of the games, but I just played one-ofs of a lot of cards. I played 1 Dress. This was kind of underwhelming. I think I maybe used it once when I was attacking into one of the Shadal cards that targets. I knew that he had set it, so I dressed my Ophion during main phase 1, and then declared attack so he wasn't able to bounce my Ophion back to the extra deck. That was literally the only thing I used dress for all day. This card was horribly disappointing. Chalice. I wish I had ran 2, maybe even 3 Chalice. This card is anti-Shadals. Ophion shuts down Shadals with the exception of their main deck monsters, the little flip guys. And this is your answer to the flip guys. If I had had more Chalices in, I probably would have done better in the Shadal matchup. Staples, I got MST, Dark Hole, Allure, Book of Moon, and I mained D-Fissure today. Dimensional Fissure was good. It really just stops a lot of the graveyard floaters from going off. A lot of people can't even play Yu-Gi-Oh! If it's up until they draw their MST, which is really nice. And then traps. Oh, sorry, no, spells. 2 Rhoda. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but Caster is a warrior, so you can go dig your casters off the recently semi-limited Rhoda, which is really nice, adds a little consistency to the deck. And Triple Pandemic. This is a Lance for all Evilswarms. It's a really good card all by itself, and even better, it's searchable by their boss monster, Ophion. And so Pandemic, you can really just play willy-nilly and eat through back row with reckless summons and reckless attacks because you know you have your Pandemic. So it's a really good card. Alright, traps. My trap lineup was a little weird today, but I liked it. Another Yu-Gi-Oh! Player friend of mine recommended that I play triple Fiendish Chain, because I do have Vanity's Emptiness main decked. Chain is the better choice than Breakthrough in that regard because it will stay on the board and it won't cause your Vanity's Emptiness to leave the board. So you can chain their monster, negate the effect, it can't attack, and then because Chain stays on the field, your Emptinesses won't leave either, which I did main deck 2 of. This card is amazing. In Evilswarms, they're all dark, so you can get Key Beetle Lock, Key Beetle, Emptiness Lock, almost turn 1 or 2 almost every game if you open up emptiness. 2D Prison. This card was another underwhelming card. I think I maybe got 1D Prison off all day. I deprisoned a Caius. I mean, it just, people are too suspicious of battle traps, and they usually clear your back row before they attack anyway. But not to say it's a bad card, but it's maybe something I would go down to 1 or even none of. Then my one-ofs, I ran 1 Torrential Tribute. It's a board clear, and with Evilswarms, if you have your Pandemic, it's even better because your board doesn't get cleared. Compulse, it's at 1. Essentially, you go 1 for 1 with their Synchros and XYZs, bounce them back to extra deck. Bottomless, stops floaters from going off because it banishes, it doesn't just destroy. And of course, Warning. 2k to negate anything, a summon, and control the board better. And then I main decked Soul Drain. This is to also combo with my D-Fissure, and this is just to stop graveyard effects. Lightsworn Rulers were a concern, Shadal's, Dante, the Burning Abyss, Mermails, and this card was amazing. Pretty much, it just becomes a hotspot for MST. As soon as you get this thing up, they will work to do whatever it takes to pop it, which is nice because then they don't have their MSTs for your other stuff. And of course, Infection. It's the other spell and trap that Evilswarms play. Infection is actually nice because it turbos your Kirky onto your hand. So what Infection says is you, as a cost, you send an Evilswarm monster, not an XYZ monster, because it has to return to the main deck, from your hand or field to the main deck, and then you can add any other Evilswarm monster to your hand. So essentially what it does is it turbos your Kirky on for big pluses. That's the whole point of Infection, and you just play it at 1. That's the main deck.
Awesome.
Extra deck. I got some grief for only playing 2, but I did only play 2 Ophion today. I just figured if you're in the point of the duel where you've gone through and lost 2 Ophions, you've probably already lost the duel anyway. That's my opinion.
You probably deserve to lose.
Exactly. If you've gone through 2 Ophions and find yourself needing a third, it means you're bad anyway. So 2 Ophion, Thanatos, Bahamut are the 2 other Evilswarm monsters. This card is really good, but it ended up costing me a game today because I'm an idiot. I went and I did a caster, summon Kirkion, banish, extra normal summon, or banish added to hand. And instead of overlaying for Ophion and attacking over Winda, I wanted the Winda for myself, so I went Bahamut and took the Winda, and that ended up costing me the game because the next turn he was able to Shadal Fusion. Thanatos is real good. I like to, when you know it's a fire hand or you suspect it's a fire hand, summon Thanatos, detach, then attack into the fire hand. Fire hand's rendered useless. He can't be affected by monster effects. So if you detach that turn. Thanatos is a beast against the hand cards. I guess just the generic, I got Key Beetle. Obviously Key Beetle, Vanity's Emptiness, if you're not aware, is just a great combo. You get a Vanity's Emptiness up. Vanity's Emptiness will destroy itself if one of your cards leaves your deck or field and goes to the grave. But the wording that it says is destroy, so if you detach from Key Beetle, target your Emptiness. When Emptiness attempts to kill itself, it can't, as long as your Beetle's up, which is a really, really good combo in the deck. I played Cowboy, Burn for Game, Exciton Knight. It is Evilswarm Exciton Knight. It's a board clear for when you don't have advantage, and you can use Pandemic on it to make sure its effect goes off. It's a really strong card. I actually didn't use Exciton all day though. Maestroke. This probably cost me a game because I was running Maestroke instead of the new Castell, and that probably ended up costing me a game because I could have Castelled a Latent Imprisoning Mirror, a Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror ended up causing me to lose. Gandaiva. This was a little bit underwhelming. For some reason in my head I saw more Yang Zings appearing, and this would be good to, when they special summon the floating Yang Zings, you detach and pop. But it was underwhelming and I never used it. Excalibur. This one requires 2 warriors as well. However, this one won me, I think, 3 or 4 games today. It just puts up 4k damage on the board. You go Caster, no extra normal summon Caster, overlay to Excalibur, detach 2. He goes up to 4k attack, and if that goes through, that's half your opponent's life points.
Devastating.
Devastating, yeah. It won me numerous games today. Diamond Dire, it's just generic spot removal. You have to pop himself because you don't have any other beasts. And I never played him once, but he's good just in case for spot removal. Honor Arc, 2 rank 4, 2 level 4s, and you steal a special summon monster. Ironically, the only things that I honor arced today were other honor arcs, but it was a great card and I use it a lot. Dweller, this card's really, really good. The 17 attack is painful, and he gets ran over by pretty much any main deck card, but if you can get him protected with a good amount of back row, he can really do a lot of damage. He stops your opponent from having graveyard effects, which is really good. Ragna Zero. This card is actually really good. I used this against Fire Kings when their bear would come out on the board. Their bears, I guess, would come out on the board. You know, it comes out with a Tenki, so he has 100 extra attack, detach, and pop, and you +1 because you draw afterward as well. So Ragna Zero was a great card, and I definitely am going to keep that. And Diabolos, it's a level 8, requires a Dark Tuner, and so you'll hear it later.
Just pull the dinette out of this. Value on the fried rice?
So I played Trap Eater in this side. Trap Eater is a level 4 tuner, and he's dark, which made Beals live. So I'll get to the side later. But yeah, that's my extra deck. All right, now for the side. I'm going to start out with the things I regret, which is a lot today, but here are my major regrets. I put in the side Dad, Mind Control, Deck Dev, and Eradicator. Probably cited these guys in 3 or 4 times today, and every single time that I cited any of these given cards in, I never saw it. So it's not that they're bad cards, they were just absolutely useless to me today. Light Imprisoning Mirror. This won me the Bujin matchup. It's a great card. They have difficulty playing around it. If they don't have their Quillins, well, they can't Quillin because it's a Light Imprisoning Mirror, so they have difficulty playing around it. Gozen. Actually never cited Gozen in once. Pretty much everything is light or dark, so they don't have issues keeping different attributes on the board. So I never used Gozen match even once, but I would keep it in. It's a great card. Double Maxi. I didn't see any Yangzings. That would have been helpful. Maxi, obviously things that are going to spam the board and special summon, you can go plus off of it. Cited it in. I don't think I ever actually used it. Of course, the double Trap Eater. I can't play when a Shadow Imprisoning Mirror is on the board. So when Shadow Imprisoning Mirror is on the board, I have to get a Trap Eater out, to eat it, and then it's a +1. You send their
My friend got third.
Shadow Imprisoning Mirror to the grave, and now you have a 1900 beater who's level 4 and a tuner. Makes your Beals live and your rank 4s. Great card, and I actually, I only ate Call of the Haunteds today. I didn't eat any real floodgate cards like Soul Drain or Skill Drain or anything, but I did eat a lot of sort of just dead Call of the Haunteds that were still left on the board. Back row. Stopping anything that needs to float to grave. Good. I never got it up. Cited in almost every game and never got it up once. And of course, double MST. Cited these in every time somebody put Shadow Imprisoning Mirror against me. Cited them in, never saw them. I actually lost to Fire Kings because he had a Shadow Imprisoning Mirror both game 2 and game 3, and I never saw my MSTs. All right. And thanks.
Thank you, John. Stay tuned next time for our next deck profile on the Meta Call.